AMG family, Mondo here. Hey, just wanted to make sure real quick before we get started that you guys have subscribed to the AMG Podcast channel. Go below if you can't see it, look a little, scroll down, whatever you got to do. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us immensely here at the AMG Podcast. The second thing we need you to do is turn on your notifications. That way, anytime we drop new content, you are the first to be notified. That way we can grow together. We can learn in life together and do life together. All right. So with that said, let's get to it. Good stuff.
Okay, cool.
Where we're gonna go. So yeah, one of the things that, and we'll just real quick about his situation, his clients. This lady's really adamant about getting out of the TSP, right?
Good.
Really adamant about it, and she's like, "Yeah, I went and asked. They said, yeah, I can opt out, and I can 1035
Yes.
exchange it over to another vehicle, qualified vehicle, if I want to do that."
Right.
Now, a lot of people, and help me understand because you've been in this working for them for how long now?
23 years.
23 years. And when you started, you said a second ago that you could opt in, which means you could most likely opt out. Is that right?
Right. So, you had to fill out some documents to get an account.
Mhm.
They didn't just automatically opt you in.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, as of the training, now they apparently when you come on board, they automatically opt you in, but there's no training involved in that.
Okay. But however, this is still an account that you're responsible for, but
Absolutely.
there's no training on how to operate
No.
the account that you're responsible for. So
No.
that's the sloppiness in it. So
No.
even when I've asked people who have TSPs, veterans, government workers, whatever, and I say, okay, well, what group funds are you invested in? Crickets. What do you mean? I literally had a guy ask me, what do you mean?
Mhm.
This is an account that he is responsible for, but because he got it from the employer or from
Right.
military or whatever,
Right.
he thinks that, oh, it's something that I have through them, that they do it. There's them. And I'm the benefactor. Well, in actuality, with a TSP or 401k, 403b, those accounts
Mhm.
are set up for you to be a responsible party in regards to how it functions, what you choose to, invest the
Mhm.
account in, what
Mhm.
group, what type of funds, mutual funds, this, that, and the other. So that's interesting that people are giving paperwork by HR to opt
Right.
in, but not
Right.
told that they could opt out.
Right, and HR can't advise anything. They're not
Right.
advisors, so they just are,
Right.
doing what they're told. And I'm happy you mentioned responsible party because
Mm,
that is in every contract that term exists, but then people don't know the duties that follow through it. So we're responsible
mm,
parties for our own account, but we have to go to ask permission to do things with the agency that again is independent agency but government agency. It's like, well, why do I have to ask you permission to do certain things, and
mhm,
why are there fees connected to those things if you are a government agency? I
mm,
just don't
mm.
get that. And they're acting as a trustee on behalf of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
you're going to ask permission. Yeah,
so the TSP is a trust then.
the TSP is a trust. That's correct.
I wonder how many people know that. The
Not
TSP
a
is a
lot.
trust,
It
and there
is.
are trustees that you didn't choose. Right?
Right.
You didn't choose who the trustees are over your own account,
Right,
but
but
you
you're a
have them.
responsible party.
Wow. You're the responsible party. You got trustees that you don't even know and didn't even
Mm,
choose,
mm,
making decisions on an account that you're responsible for, but they didn't tell you that you were. Wow.
exactly.
That's a hot mess of spaghetti right there. Like,
It is, it is, it
wow.
is. Now,
Okay.
could you explain, like we spoke the other day about, I
Mhm.
mentioned that one paragraph in that document that says TSP is a trust about the TSP being exempt, a tax exemption, but the burden of the taxes falls on the responsible party.
Correct. Yeah, so that's the power of well, not the power. That is the reality of a tax deferred vehicle, right?
Mm,
So the language that is said is tax deferred, or but again, deferred. Well, how long? People,
mhm,
when you're 20 something years old, or 30 or
mhm,
whatever, and you get into this
mhm.
TSP or 401k, whatever it is, and you say it's a tax deferred vehicle. Most people are like don't even really understand because that's far away. All I
Right,
know is I'm putting money in tax free. And when I put
right,
$100 in, it's $100 that goes in. There's nothing deducted. Man, I'm feeling real good. You forgot about
right,
that word deferred. So you just keep putting in money
Right.
putting in
Right.
money, not understanding there's a lot of different fees going on.
Right.
There's a trustee that you didn't select managing your funds, and
Mhm.
they are kind of banking on the fact that you forget about the deferred word because you are planting seeds in this
Right.
account.
Right.
And then later on, when the harvest comes and when years are accumulating
Mhm.
over years, time,
Mhm.
in time, taxes increase.
Right. Right.
So the taxes that you thought, even if you know what deferred means, and even if you know it's deferred, you're probably
Right.
thinking, okay, 2025, my taxes when I retire, okay, cool, I'm doing the math here, it's going to be 21% if that's your
Right.
tax bracket.
If that's your tax
If
bracket
that's your
by
tax
then.
bracket, say that, but we know taxes increase, tax brackets go up. So in
Mhm.
20, maybe 21% today,
Mhm.
but what about in 30, 40 years? It's not going to be
Mhm.
21%. So, but that
No.
same nest egg, right? It's
Yeah.
just growing and growing. And when the harvest comes, boom, chop suey, give me my
Right.
piece, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Interesting part about it is just from a psychological standpoint, and we'll talk about how to transfer, those TSPs.
Right. Right.
What's interesting to me, if I came to you and I said, all right, Samantha, I have an idea. I have an account that you can put in money tax free. Like you're already like just putting in clean money.
Mhm.
Okay. And we're just gonna let it grow. We may even match you 3%, 6%, whatever. We're gonna match you.
Right. Right.
Sound good,
Right.
right? We're gonna
Right.
double your money. Awesome.
Right.
Cool. Oh, by the way, there's a limit on how much you can put in a year, but we're gonna match it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
We're
And
gonna
it's
match it.
small writing just like
Yeah,
that.
and we're gonna match it. And guess what? We're just gonna put money in here, and we're gonna manage it for you. And we're going to assign a trustee to your account. We're not going to tell you who it is, but we're going to go ahead and match it. We're going to assign a trustee to handle all your funds,
Right.
and then not tell you that you're actually the responsible party. But
Mm-mm.
that's for later. And we're going to just continue to watch this thing grow and watch you put money in it, and we put money in it, and then later on, when it's time for you to extract the funds, hey, you can live a wonderful life. And guess what? We don't know what your tax bracket is going to be then. Isn't that exciting?
That's how they
What?
sell it with a
What
smile.
are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
It's
wild.
like it's kind of gaslighting in a way. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like,
Mhm.
what are you talking? So if I'm selling that to you, Samantha, why on God's green earth would you be excited about that?
Right.
You
Right.
want to put your golden years, the time when you're ready to sit down somewhere.
Right.
You ready to enjoy the grandbabies. You ready to
Yeah.
take a trip with your boo and go on some cruises and do old people stuff that we
Right.
all looking forward to doing. And so we're like looking for that, but we're going to put our financial resources that are supposed to empower what we're dreaming of. We're going to
Mhm.
put all of our stability and future funds and livelihood in the hands of what I just sold you.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here, people? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know one person. Now, I don't know everybody in the world. That's obvious, or everybody in the country. But I'm really curious to see. I'm really curious to see how many government workers and military veterans are living more than 75% of the retirement off of TSP.
mm.
I would love to know that number. How many people with TSPs
Mhm.
are living with 75% of their retirement income is off of
Right.
TSP
Right. Right.
or more?
Right.
Now, I
And
know,
remember the RMD, so they're forcing them to take that
right.
out too.
Yeah, because they may have like after their government career or their military career, they may go have another job. They have a pension and retirement for something else. Maybe they have a
Right.
nest egg of some other kind, an
Right.
annuity of some other kind, whatever they got going on, and they don't really need the TSP income. But the government, like, well, hold on. When you were 25 and started with us, you was planting those seeds. There's a harvest that we're waiting to collect on.
Mhm.
So if by 70 you don't start taking this out, we're going to penalize you. And the
Right.
penalty can be up, literally, it can be up to 50%.
Mm. It is up to 50%. You're
It's
correct.
up to 50% penalty if you do not start taking RMD,
That's
required minimum
correct.
distributions.
That's
Why?
correct.
Because they saying that, oh, Samantha, you ain't gonna hoard this. We've been waiting
Right.
35 years to
Yep.
collect on this harvest now, and you talking about you don't need it now? Okay, we're gonna take up to 50%, or we're gonna make you take RMD, required minimum distribution, so we can tax on that harvest and get the money we've been waiting on
Yes.
for almost a half a century.
Yes. I have my stepfather who worked at the government agency for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
retired and he's 80 now. So he retired at 75. They started forcing RMD on him. The first year was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew it was coming, but not really paying attention because there's no reminders.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, it's ignored if they send it to the mail, but the check will come. And then you're forced, if you don't make a move before that check comes, you're going to be stuck with that tax.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
um,
So, but
yeah,
this is the education that people are lacking. Now,
right.
some people may like the RMD. They may need the RMD. I don't know. I mean, but
Right.
if you need the RMD, you probably would have already tapped into it. I
Yeah.
mean, you would think,
You would
like,
think.
you would think, but there's a lot of people at TSPs that may not even know what RMD is.
Yeah, that's
I
right. Can
found
you
that out
say
too.
that? Yeah, can you
There's a
tell
lot of
that?
people with 401ks and different types of retirement vehicles. I mean, because
What does RMD stand for?
required minimum distribution.
There we go.
It's a required minimum distribution that you have to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
required,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, it's not just the TSP. 401ks have the same thing. Other
Mm-hmm.
types of contracts have the same kind of feature. Okay, it's the name of the game.
Right.
However, for me, the bigger point is, look, if I'm growing old, I want to sit down somewhere and enjoy my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have any anxiety on, is my money going to be there?
Right. Right.
I want to know who the trustee is. I hope it's me and my family because it's in our family trust. but,
But yeah.
but I want to know, or maybe they're changing, because that cubicle where that trustee is changing employees every year and a half. So now you
Right.
got Rachel, then you got DeAndre, then you got
Right.
Stacy, then you got Paul,
Right.
then you got Amy. It's like, and I have no
Oh,
idea what's going on,
that's a good
but I'm
one.
the responsible party. But they never told me
Mm.
that. So what do people do, right? What do
Mm-hmm.
people do? So
Mm-hmm.
there are options to do what's called a 1035 exchange to put your funds into another qualified contract. Now, there are some similar features in most of these qualified contracts because it was already started that way.
Right.
There's still an RMD,
Mm-hmm.
okay? However, it's talked about, it's discussed on the front end. It's
Right.
it's I want to say negotiated, but it's discussed and made aware.
Mm-hmm.
You're made aware of it on the front end. You understand
Mm-hmm.
that that thing is coming, so you can prepare for it.
Right.
The contract is between you and a particular institution, so you are the contract owner,
That
right?
makes sense. Yep.
And you also can make decisions. You can even customize. Well,
Mm.
TSP would have said, well, you can customize, you can choose which funds you want. That's not customizing.
No, because you're already locked in. You can
You're
only
already locked
choose on the
in.
back. Yeah, that's
Right.
getting into the door is how they sell you because of the matching. And just for clarification, they say 5%, but the first 3% is dollar for dollar. The next 2% is 50 cents on the dollar. So it's not a full 5%. And then you're taxed to pull that out later.
But you're taxed on the, oh my gosh. They don't deduct that like 50 cents
No.
on the dollar. They don't deduct that part.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now. I'm with you. I'm tracking with you. Yeah, okay. So again, I think the bigger part of it is get educated on what you have,
Right.
right? And you should want to be, if you're the responsible party, which you should want to be, if you
Hmm.
are that, our encouragement is to get educated on how to be the responsible party.
Correct.
Understand the inner workings, and if you can't, you get some professionals that can help you understand and roll with you versus
Hmm.
just, no offense to the profession, I know HR directors are doing their thing and they're doing their job, but it is not their job to advise. It is not their job to explain to you. That's not what they're there for.
Mm-mm.
So if they're not responsible to do that, and they're not the ones that are informed or even professionals in that financial field, they're HR directors.
Right.
Who's advising you?
You don't
Right.
know. It's whoever picks
Exactly.
up the
That's
phone.
the Exactly. So it's like, all right, so take the bull by the horns. Take
Hmm.
control of your retirement vehicle,
Right.
right? Put it in a contract where it's between you and that particular institution where you can customize it. You can choose what kind of contract you want. You can choose at what point you want to start receiving income from it after
Mm.
59 and a half. You can, all those different things. Now, here's the thing. If you are looking to transfer or roll over in a 1035 exchange prior to 59 and a half, at 59 and a half, or later,
Hmm.
the 1035 allows you to transfer it tax free and penalty free.
Mm.
You will get a 1099 R,
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
1099 R, okay? And that allows that it informs your accountant that, oh, you did a 1035. So there's a
Got it.
form that they fill out with your taxes. Was it 5497? I forget it's a four number code where they let the IRS know that this 1099 R is involved into a 1035 exchange. So it is not considered taxable income.
Right, it's not a taxable event that's
It's
occurring.
not a taxable
Gotcha.
event. Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
that R is important.
Mhm.
Okay. Because so you do the 1035, guess what? You pay nothing. It literally costs you a grand total of zero.
Okay.
You're just moving it from one shelf
Right.
to a better shelf
And documenting it. Yes,
and
that makes sense.
documenting the
The
movements.
transaction. That's
That's
correct.
yeah, document. I won't even say transaction. The movement.
The movement, right? Because it's not touching the the individual, and that's the
Right.
best part about it. So it's
Right.
going from one entity to
To
another
T to the
entity,
next.
right? Skipping the body of the person. That's correct.
Yes.
Yep, which
Yes.
is the responsible party out of all of this, who has to
Right.
be educated enough to say that they want to think outside the box and do that move.
Correct. There are some
Mhm.
institutions. So if you're doing a transfer or a 1035 exchange or
Mhm.
rollover, what you're looking to do, sometimes the TSP, a carrier or the holder, if you will, they will do it backdoor straight to the new institution.
Mhm.
Okay. The
Mhm.
second way that might happen is they will write the check to the institution, but mail it to you.
Right,
Then
but
you
you
have
have
to,
60 days.
and then you got to send it to the new institution that was
Right,
written.
which that's correct.
Right? So it
Yep.
could happen one of two ways. All right. Most cases, it's going to happen. You're not going to touch anything. It's going
Right,
to sort of
right.
straight. But in some, depending on where it is, you see this sometimes with 401ks, depending on the company that's holding it.
Right.
403s, depending on who's holding, they're going to send a check to you, and then you got to mail it off. Right? So, but
Right.
they don't write the check to you.
Right.
They
Right.
just they write it to the new company, but they just
Correct.
to you. So, but there's ways to do it. But the thing is, the benefits is taking control of your retirement funds. I don't care if it's $50 million. I don't care if it's
Right.
500,000, 50,000, or $5.
Right.
Get control of your funds.
Know what you're doing.
Know
Right.
what
So, real quick, the 401ks and all the 4 whatevers, I
mhm.
thought that they were retirement vehicles. I didn't know that that was just a tax code. Even though I know we'll get into it later, it's
Yeah,
good. It's good to be aware that you have to
yeah.
know what you're stepping into.
It's a tax code.
Mm.
It's a tax code. It's like, oh, I got the 401k plan. No, you got the 401k tax code. That's what you got.
Right. That's what you
That's what you got.
There's no protection. You
Right.
opted into be
Yeah.
taxed automatically, not even
Right.
knowing, "Hey, let me
Right.
think about it. Is there a tax, free option anywhere?"
There is. And we have
Mm,
several clients that do that, where they leverage certain contracts that are available
mhm.
to the masses.
Right,
There's certain contracts that that we help people with all the time, to where
right.
you can actually build tax-free retirements.
Mm,
Tax-free
exciting.
retirements. To where, like I say, well, that's a Roth. Well, no, it's not. You get
No.
taxed on the gains.
Right.
And especially if you make a certain amount of money, you can't even
Mhm,
qualify to get one anyway. You're past the ceiling of a Roth. So
mhm,
so what do people with money do? They make too much money for a 401k. They make too
mhm,
much money for a Roth.
mhm.
Okay, where do they put their money? Great question, isn't it? And
Right?
that's why we set up consultations with myself and our team and with Samantha, because we can show you. Look, if you're trying to get to where the wealthy people are, you got to stop using broke people tools.
Right.
With
Correct.
all due respect, I'm not trying to poo-poo on nobody.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to get where they are, you need to
Mhm,
do what they do and use what they use.
mhm, mhm. That's right, that's right.
Or we can
Oh,
stay hood rich.
oh, no, no, no. We need to be more than that. Educated and knowing which way to do. So I had someone I was talking to, and she said, she used the word graduate instead of retirement. She's like, "Hey, I graduated already, so I'm already doing whatever I do in my TSP. Do I need to be on this call that you all are going to have?" And I'm
Mhm,
like, "Yeah, you should." And she's
mhm.
like, "Well, I think I know enough information now." I said, "Is your retired dollars still taxed? Is your retirement dollars taxed? Will it be taxed?" And she says, "Yes." I said, "Well, you need to get on the call."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ways. Like, so taxes, Okay, this is where we can part the Red Sea a little bit.
Okay.
When people have had these TSP, these deferred accounts,
Mhm.
you've already opted in to the tax gain.
Right.
You're really not getting out of it.
Mm-mm.
No, you're not. You've
Mm-mm.
already opted in to make sure that, for the government to take a piece of your harvest. You've already opted in. There's no way to opt out of that when you've already put money in it.
Correct.
Okay, in the sense of the money that's put in, you no, that's getting taxed. And
Mhm.
so now,
No way around it.
even if you roll that money over in a 1035 exchange,
Mhm.
still a qualified account, which
Right.
means that it's going to be taxed. Now, why would you roll it over? Then it's still going to be taxed. It's not about it being taxed or not. You already made that decision with your old vehicle, the TSP 401k, whatever. That no,
Mhm.
we're not trying to fix that necessarily.
Mhm.
Okay, we can actually do some creative things. Yes, like that's a consultation. We can minimize, we can stretch out, we can do a lot of different things like that. However, the bigger part is control.
Right.
The bigger part is guarantees, getting
Mhm.
it out of the market and putting it into something that's guaranteed, and having more access, having a structure that you customize with a professional.
Right.
What professional consults you over here? Nope.
Nobody. No. It. Yeah.
Professionals like us will
Right.
help you design. You have
Mhm.
your own custom interior designer with your financial product. We will help you make the right decisions and design it properly for your goals, dreams, and ambitions. We will do that. Okay. Now, taxes, yes,
Mhm.
we're gonna try to make as much sense as we can, and that
Right.
you're based on the decision you made prior to meeting us.
Right. Right. Right.
However, there are other things like control,
Mhm.
customization,
Mhm.
guarantees,
Mhm.
safety, putting
Right.
into a contract, getting out of an account, right? I've seen some YouTube videos, man. I'm not saying any names, but I've seen some videos where I've heard TSP advocates, if you will, and that's cool. You support what you support. That's fine.
Right. Right. Right.
But when they say, well, these other types of accounts, I mean, yeah, I mean, they do guarantee income for life and all, but, and then they go back to the TSP and glorify that thing. I'm like, time out.
Where's
Who
the
would be
rest of the
opposed to what you
sentence?
just said?
Right.
Who will be opposed to guaranteed income for life?
Right. Right.
Why is that a bad thing?
Right.
Well, it's not as, you know, I don't know. You don't have as much control. Yes, you do. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
Trustee, I don't know who it is.
Yeah. And they're not licensed. They say that. The people that answer that phone say that they're not licensed advisors.
That is massive what you just said.
Mhm.
Who can you imagine any? Because we've been knowing each other a little bit. You
Right.
imagine like any of my clients calling our office and I say, "Hey, how you doing? This is Mondo Grimes. Hope you're having a great day. By the way, just for the record, this call is being recorded. I am not licensed or professional to be able to help you in any of these financial matters. How can I help you today?" Are we talking about?
What is happening? This whole party's out of control.
What are we talking about? So yeah, this is crazy, and I think this is a great lead in into the webinar that we're doing. Right,
Mhm.
you and I are
Mhm.
hosting this
Yes.
webinar on September 3rd at
Yes.
7:30 p.m. Eastern. So excited to have everyone attend. We're going to
Right.
have other professionals that work with us who are licensed, who are
Yes.
professionally trained,
Who took
who
the
are going to
time
be
to
attending.
learn.
Yeah, and teaching with us, right?
Mhm.
We're gonna have
Mhm.
a great group of people there. So even if you're like, I don't have a TSP, that's okay. This is important for if you have a 401k, if you have a
Right.
403b, if you have any sort of retirement account or anything that you're banking on or you want to grow, or you just maybe don't even understand what these things are, because we find that to be true quite a bit. Yeah, I have this thing, I have this 401k, I have this TSP, I don't really know what I'm doing with it. So if you want to learn, since you are the responsible party,
Right.
you want to learn, join us September 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Samantha and I and the crew will be having a great time educating, learning together, just living together, and we're going to do some life together and understand how to take the bull by the horns. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. Let
Yes.
me type in the word. Oh, okay. So it says, how is the TSP treated under IRC?
Mhm.
So IRC 7001 states the TSP is to be treated as a trust described in, and I can read this and we can record it. It's just a small paragraph. In 401A, which is exempt from taxation under 501A. You see what I'm saying? So if it's a trust and it's exempt, the burden falls on the responsible party. So it says, thus our determination letter. They got a determination letter almost like a church, a 501c13, but this is a
Mhm.
501a, is statutory in nature. And the TSP is a qualified trust. A plan administrator or trustee or custodian can complete the rollover of a TSP participant account based on the IRC description of the TSP.
Mhm.
That's
Wow.
it. So the fact that it's a trust, the fact that that is tax exempt, which is exempt from taxation under that code, but you are taxed because you're putting it in under a contract somehow you agreed to that said, I'll put that in, but when I'm ready, it's going to be deferred. Like tax, it'll be taxed, but I'm putting it in deferred, but it'll be taxed.
So their contribution, their match is considered more of a gift or a
Mm.
donation, maybe, if they're tax exempt.
Yeah, right.
If
Right.
they're if so that's a no, so technically a write off. But if you're a nonprofit, you're tax exempt,
Yeah,
and you're donating in
right.
matches to
Right.
participants.
Right.
That's a benefit for the trust for the nonprofit.
Right. But
Okay.
how does the burden fall on me to be taxed? If I donate it to you, it should be able to be
Okay.
written out. It should be tax exempt. Like if I'm doing a church, I write something, they give me in letter saying, "Hey, you donated this much to me," then you can put that in there. But we're not able to do that.
So then why do corporations or whatever TSPs whatever, why do they do that? And I think just as personal theory
Right.
perspective,
Right.
uh, it builds the interest in wanting to be with that company. Like, for instance, it's a marketing tool to work here because
Right.
we match your 401k, we match your
Yes.
TSP. So you
Yes.
work here, so it's a fringe benefit. Like, we're going to give you life insurance, health insurance, we're going to give you a
Oh,
retirement account, we're going to give you your salary, we're going to give you some PTO, and blah blah
right.
blah.
Right.
Okay, and it's another carrot.
Right.
Come
Right.
get this, come get this TSP,
Right.
come get this
Right.
401k, and we're gonna
Right.
match it. Now, again, okay, it's business. Of course, they're gonna get something out of it for them. Maybe
Right.
they should. I don't know. I mean, but it's business though, right?
Right. It
But I
is.
think the bigger part is understanding the game though. How many people are
Mhm.
walking to this game completely blind? They think they're playing badminton and it's rugby,
Right.
and they get tore out the frame
Right.
because
Right. Yeah.
they have no idea what sport they're
I
playing.
have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, so but the thing is, it's like, man, you can actually create your own sport,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Your own lane to stay in.
Your own lane to stay in. It's
Mhm.
like it's so interesting. If you just look at common sense, like if you were to drive wherever you live, right? Whoever's watching, you drive and you see a group of gentlemen and ladies, they're in their 60s, maybe whatever, 70s, and they're playing golf on a Tuesday afternoon at 1:30. How many of those people think they're living off of TSPs and 401ks for a living?
Nah, I don't think so.
None of them. I guarantee.
Mm-mm.
Right? They may have something contributing to their income because of something they did back in the past.
Right.
But I guarantee you, when you actually are able to live like that, or even people in their 40s and 50s, and they own businesses and they're playing golf at 1:30 on a Tuesday, they have positioned themselves where they've taken control of their finances.
Right. Right. But the position
That
can be done earlier in
it
the
can be done.
game.
That's what I'm saying.
It can be done.
Dude,
It's
if you were to take the money you're putting in, you're contributing into your T, this is get on the webinar because I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna show you something.
right.
If you take what you're contributing to your 401k from your working years, tell your kids this even. You 23, 24 out of college, you get a job, 30 years, whatever it is, and you put that contribution to that TSP or 401k, and you don't do that, and you put into another vehicle that
Hmm.
they use,
Right. Right.
holy smokes, man. Like, it's gonna be crazy. What about the match?
That's just so the match is the carrot in the front to go through this golden door. Have you ever seen, and normally it's, I have to say this, normally it's men. You'll see they have all the hair up here, but then towards the back, it's losing. That's what
Yeah.
happens with the TSP. You come in and you look real good, and then out the back door, you kind of fade away,
You got
right?
the
I don't know
reverse,
what that.
you got the reverse George Jefferson.
Yes, exactly. It's reverse. That's what I'm saying. It's that
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
versus trying to the exit strategy. You're not getting into um, TSP with an exit strategy because you're going to follow what they say is an exit strategy versus coming
Mhm.
into your own lane with your own instructions and directions and passing that to your proper beneficiary saying, hey, this is how we're going to exit. Because if you get into your own vehicle, you're never exiting. It's passed to the next generation, next generation, next generation.
Yes, yes, yes. And of course, we talk about, market volatility and ways to have stop losses so you don't lose your pants when the market dips and stuff
Hmm.
like that.
Right.
Especially if you're not, and no disrespect, but if finances aren't your thing, right? If you
Yeah.
don't understand finance,
Right.
if your financial literacy is not your jam, and that's cool. That's why professionals, right? I
Right.
mean, medical is not my jam. That's why I got a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
so no disrespect, but I'm just saying if that's not your thing, okay, well, make it a thing by finding someone who can help you understand and coach you, and you rely on their judgment, their professionalism, their gifting, right,
Right.
their knowledge base to help you understand what's going on with your finances. It's so crazy you say that. It's the whole hair thing because we find that to be true in a very realistic, very real environment where we meet a lot of people at our company where they're devastated by the time they get to their 60s.
Mm.
And I love to do it out of sense of helping people, but I hate the fact that we have to do it in the sense of trying to fix or salvage what they thought was going to be there,
Right.
create something new because what they thought was going to be there is only there by 40, 50%, sometimes if that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's tough. And it's like, man, to see people running out of money in their retirement or not having enough money to even retire,
Right. Right.
where their money's not hedging against inflation at all.
At all. Yeah.
But yet they're trusting somebody from 30 years ago that said, sign this thing,
Right.
opt in.
And they're following the generation before them because they did it. And my mom did it, my grandma did it. You know what I mean? Like that, it's almost
Well,
like a recipe for
it
cooking.
is, it is,
Yeah.
but it's a psychological thing. It gets kind of deep with humans.
Right.
Like there's this cycle where a group of people, a culture can do something wrong for so
Mhm.
long that
Mhm.
it becomes right.
Right. Correct.
If you're saying like that's
Yeah.
just what we do, and
Mhm.
you ask them, well, why? Well, that's what my mama did. Well, why she do that? What's what my grandma did, and on and on and on. It's
Right.
like, but why did they do it?
Right.
Well, I told you because that's what we do. That's
Mhm.
not an answer.
No,
That's
it's
not
not.
what like quantify for me from a number standpoint, from a
Right.
data standpoint. Why
Right.
do you do this?
And
Now,
and now
if you could back it up, cool.
right, right, right. And I'll help with clarification because when we do have kids, some of us have been trained because that was taught to us.
Mm,
You do this because we say so, right? But
mm,
they do, even though they're minors,
yeah,
they are dependents. You If you think about it, you should explain some things to them, some, but it does depend on the
sure,
scenario. But we
sure.
have been trained so much to just say, do this because I said do this. And so because we've also done that into our financial lane versus
Mhm,
our cooking lane or our cleaning lane, we have merged that over into financial lane. Do this because I did this, or I see someone else doing this, so I'm going to do this versus let me ask why.
mm,
Is like there's a show on Disney.
mm, mhm,
What
mhm,
if there was a way to put my finances that I'm working so hard for because your body is in exchange for this dollars that you're getting? What
mhm.
if there was a way to be in a vehicle where it's protected and it's growing and I know what I'm doing?
Exactly.
What if I took the time to learn how
Yes.
to manage myself? And it won't take long.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Yes.
the miseducation that occurred. It was missed on
Yes.
purpose.
And it's also this thing, and it maybe it's cultural in some aspects, maybe it's not. I don't want to go down that political road,
Right.
but um, asking for help is not anything you should be ashamed of.
Mm.
And I think in some communities, oh, I got it. Or the feeling of if I ask, it makes me look, excuse me, incompetent. It makes
Mhm.
me look a certain way. So let me just figure out on my own. Well, some things, okay, cool. But for the most part, when it comes to, some really important stuff, it's like when something hurts right now, we ain't trying to figure out our own. We trying to go to the
Right.
doctor, go to the
Right.
dentist, etc.
Right.
Right, our eyes
Right.
or whatever. But when it's something like it may hurt later, I'll figure it out. Well,
Hmm.
Father Time is undefeated
Right.
because that day's getting closer every minute.
Right.
Asking for help is something that I feel like some in some communities, it's a sign of weakness.
Yeah. That's what they say. Right.
It's a sign of weakness because you're asking for help. Where
Hmm.
in other communities, it is normal. It's normalized to ask for help. It is like they're actually passing on help. Hey, this guy helped me. You need to call them because they can help you too.
Right.
It's like this whole like inner this web
Community. Yeah.
community in this web, and because they want everyone to be successful,
Yes.
and they take pride in asking questions and
Right.
pride in getting help. They get,
Hmm.
man, I've been in some circles where I've heard people say, because I didn't grow up in a community like this, but and now I hear people say, oh, hey, guys, guess what, man? I got this guy. Man, I was doing this and I was afraid to mess it up, man. So I called this guy I heard about, and man, you guys all need to meet him because oh, you struggle with that too? Yeah, give him a call, man. I'll text him right now. It's
Right.
like, whoa. Where in other rooms, it's like no one's talking about anyone they got in their phone book.
Right. Right.
That's mine,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Let's.
Because so yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. This is phenomenal, Samantha. This is great.
Yeah. Because I love crabs, and in the state of Maryland, and bringing up to this to tie it together, instead of us being the crab in the barrel, sometimes if you're ordering a bushel of crabs, it comes in a barrel, then it comes in a box, right?
Okay.
So if we're all taught to be the crabs in a barrel, pulling down each other and all of that, and there's a box outside of us, if we're in this bushel, who's controlling the box? So it's time for us to get out of the box, the barrel first, then the
Hmm.
box, start your own box, put your items in it to protect it that way. Then you can see, and then we start communizing with everyone, um, to do our own thing in our own boxes. Like, hey, like you just said, you did this or you did that. Oh, here, you can contact this person, contact that, versus being the crab in the barrel where you looking really good in there. Can't wait to be cooked up. Put your money on over here to be cooked up. We cook you right. We're gonna season you well.
Right. Yeah.
Versus let me step out of the box and be the
Yeah.
owner of this box. What if I knew how to manage the box?
And sometimes when you move in the box, you need a little help.
Yes, absolutely.
Ain't
And you're
nothing wrong with
not
getting some movers. Ain't nothing wrong with getting
correct.
some movers, some financial movers.
Correct.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting Sanford and Son or whoever it is come help you move, like
Exactly.
whatever Sanford and them, whatever it is. Yeah,
Right.
no, for real. Like that's. I'll thank you for bringing that full circle. That is
Hmm.
phenomenal. That's a great way to pause the conversation because it's definitely not an end. That is for
Right.
sure.
Right.
Um, I'm excited about the webinar. This is going to be great for a lot of people. I'm sure it won't be the last one.
Right.
It is something that I found, especially over the last couple months. There's been a wave of military veterans, a
Hmm.
wave of government workers
Hmm.
that have TSP accounts, and most of them are either frustrated with the performance, don't know how it works.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got that thing over there somewhere.
Right. Right.
Most of them aren't counting on it because they just feel like it's hogwash. And they're just like, yeah, it was this thing when I got in the military. They just said to do it, and I did it. And I don't know what is that thing again? No, that's literally one
I
guy told me.
know. That's
And it's like, yes, I think it's got like a few $1,000s or so in it. I don't know. Whatever.
So let's talk real quick before we hang up
Yeah.
is who can we help? We help the ones who have worked because in this new stage since January till right now, people have been let go. Can we help those who've been let go and they still have a TSP
Yes,
or
100% people.
401k?
Yes, if you have a 401k TSP, any sort of retirement account, and you want to make sure it's going to be there when you retire, you definitely want to roll it.
All
You want to
right. And
roll it
then
into, yep. So those people, yes.
could you also help someone who may have been on a police force and they are only under pensions, but they don't have TSPs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Those can
right.
roll as well.
All right.
Mhm.
So that's about everybody. And teachers who have their 401ks.
And 403Bs and things that have, yes. We actually have quite a few teachers as clients. Yes. And
All
administrators
right.
and educators. Yes.
So it
Hmm.
sounds like if you're living and breathing, and even if you don't have an account, can you help them out?
Yes. Because if you have what's called dead money, Right now, from what recent report that came out within the last 3 months, it shows that right now in 2025 is the most money that's ever been held in banks.
Mm,
Like over $4 trillion is just sitting in banks,
mm,
and that is dead money.
mm.
It's not keeping up with inflation. It's not hedging against inflation. You're not leveraging it for anything. It's just dead and depreciating literally every year. So yes, if you're that person that's just sitting on cash and Benjamin is not multiplying,
Right.
we like money makes money better than we do.
Right. Correct.
So it's time to deploy that money where you have guarantees, liquidity, and also safety.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Awesome. Good stuff, my friend. Appreciate you. Hey, that was a part two. We thought that was like a psych, like we thought we ended. It's like psych. We coming right back at you. It's like I love the little film after the credits, the end credits.
Yes.
That's what this was. So awesome. All right, we'll see everyone on September 3rd, 7:30 p.m. with the webinar talking about TSP, retirement accounts, and the like. And man, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. So we'll talk to you soon. See ya.